Hello and welcome. Today we're talking about something a bit alternate. I'm going to give you an idea on why you should maybe consider stop paying off your mortgage and do something else instead. Now this is applicable for not only people that have their own home that they live in, but investment property too. Now make sure you watch this video all the way to the very end, because if you consider doing this, this has several benefits that include giving you more money, giving you more time and freedom, and maybe it allows you to retire early or go working full-time to part-time. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Marco. I'm a portfolio landlord, property investor, developer, and mentor. And I'm very passionate about helping people and companies invest in property. As I mentioned before, this video is really aimed for both people that live in their own homes and have their own homes, but also landlords and property investors that have properties with mortgages they are paying off too. Now, Marco, why are you telling me to stop paying off my mortgage, maybe my residential mortgage? Maybe I've got a buy-to-let mortgage. Why should I stop paying off that repayment part of the mortgage? Here are a few reasons why, and then afterwards we're going to come on to an example together. Now, first of all, you have the potential to earn more money by actually not paying off your mortgage. And this is how it works. So as you're slowly paying off the mortgage in your own home or investment property, what you'll find is the equity is building up because you're slowly paying off the mortgage. So as your mortgage depletes, your equity in the property increases. Now, this is absolutely great for several reasons, but if we're talking about investing money and in making our capital and our money work hard for us, in my opinion, this isn't the best thing to do. Because if we've got substantial amounts of equity within our property or properties, well, we're not, in my opinion, making our money work hard enough and make our money work for us. Now, again, after I've finished listing why you should consider this, we're going to come into an example and it'll make a bit more sense. Now, following on from that, we have the potential to earn more money. This allows us more freedom and more time, because if we're earning more money through investing our capital, then maybe we can go from working full-time to part-time, or maybe we can retire early. The third reason why you should consider actually not paying off your mortgage quickly is that inflation erodes the value of your debt, of your mortgage. As we know at the moment, inflation is absolutely crazy. It's around double digits, and inflation measures the increase in prices of a basket of goods over time. So actually, if inflation is increasing year on year and over the long term, but the amount of our debt of our mortgage is fixed, then what this means is inflation is eroding the value of our debt. Yes, we still have to pay back that exact same amount, but that same amount has far less buying power in the future than what it will do here today in the present. Now, yes, there are some potential negatives to actually stop paying off your mortgage, which, some people like to pay off their mortgage for peace of mind, and I fully appreciate and understand that. But if you can view this in a slightly different way, whereas the increased money, the increased time will maybe outweigh that peace of mind that you're going to have down here in terms of, in fact, you haven't paid off your mortgage. And again, we're all brought up in the UK to pay off your mortgage. That's what our parents tell us. But actually, this alternate idea that I'm proposing to you here today will probably make you financially more well off. And if you're not borrowing too much money and you're being conservative on your loan to value, which we'll come on to very shortly, again, you're minimizing the risk and you've got a nice margin of safety. So let's come on to an example on how we can stop paying off our mortgage, use this money more wisely, make this money work for us. That will allow us to earn more, have more time, have more freedom, and maybe work less. Now, I'm going to use a normal residential live-in example rather than a buy-to-let or an investment property. But the theory remains the same. So if you have an investment property, just input your figures and you'll be able to see what it chucks out on the other side. So the average value of a home in the UK is roughly around £250,000 at the time of recording. So I'm going to take this value. Now, let's say we've got a home, it's £250,000, and we have a mortgage on the property. And, as our parents have told us, we've been paying off the mortgage, over the 10, 20 years. And let's say the mortgage is nearly paid off. So we've got lots of equity in the property. The mortgage is nearly paid off. Now, for those of you that don't know what equity is the value of the property minus the mortgage. So the property is worth, the value of the property is about £250,000. And let's just assume we've nearly paid off our mortgage. So it's near zero. So our equity is more or less the full £250,000. Now, what you can do is you can withdraw and you can pull out equity from your property. So you can go to a bank or to a mortgage lender and say, right, well, here's my property, this is the security, and I'd like a mortgage and a loan for a certain percentage of that value. Now, what I like to find is 75% is a nice sweet spot. Again, if maybe you're a bit more conservative than I am in terms of risk, you could decrease this loan to value to 50% and maybe only ask for a 50% loan of the value of the property. But let's just say we're getting a loan of 75%, which works out at £187,500. That's 75% of the value of our property. Now, at current current rates, this mortgage is going to cost us roughly about £1,000 to pay back. Now here's the nice thing about this. If you're watching this in the future, mortgage rates could be lower, which means that £1,000 could be £900, could be £800, could be £700 per month. So maybe your returns could better depending on when you're watching this video. So that's how much we're going to be paying back to the bank or the lender every single month. Now how much can we make from this? Because remember, we've got £187,500 to invest. So we can buy several properties in the north of the UK, putting down say a 25% deposit, we can buy probably around 4 or 5 properties. So what can we expect to earn from investing this £187,500? Yes, we've got to pay off a mortgage of roughly about £1,000 every month over here, but what can we earn here? What's our profit going to be as a result? So if you're investing that £187,500 and maybe you're getting a combined return of 10%, and that combined return is a mix between your monthly rental income, your nice yield, but also capital appreciation, so the increase in the value of that property over time. And once we combine these together, let's say that's giving us an annual return of 10%. Now, if you work out the math on a monthly basis, this is going to give us roughly about £1,560. So we've got £1,560 coming in, but our mortgage is £1,000. So what's the difference? What's our profit? Well, it's £560. So this goes to show by undergoing this exercise, we've got an extra £560 in our pocket every single month. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not exactly going to work like that. Some months the amount you receive will be higher, other times it will be lower. And owning property, maybe a boiler may need to be replaced 1 month, in which case you're probably going 3 months without making any real money. But in the long term, you'll get roughly about £500, over £500 profit on a monthly basis. Now, here's the beautiful thing. I've only assumed a combined return of 10%. What if we can increase this return? What if we can get 12, 14, 16%? All of a sudden, these figures start to look far more attractive. And as I've already alluded to, in the future, interest rates may be lower than what they are now. So what that means is our cost is lower, which means our profit is going to be higher. So this is an example, and we've gone through the numbers on how maybe you can take equity out of your property and stop paying off your mortgage to generate more money and more time for you. But I know what you're asking now is, Marco, what's the exit strategy? How do I pay off this new mortgage that I've taken out on either my own property or an investment property? So in terms of exiting, you have 2 options. The first is to refinance. Again, so after that fixed term expires, maybe it's 5 years, whatever, however long you fix that mortgage for, you can refinance onto another mortgage. And that's another way of exiting. However, the ultimate exit is via sale. So whenever you sell the property, you can pay off that mortgage. And the lovely thing about investing in the UK over the long term is that property prices tend to increase. And in fact, every 10 years, they more or less double. Will property prices double in the next 10 years? I don't think so. I could be wrong, but property prices increase in the long run because supply is so low. We're an island, we can't really build any more properties. So what that means is when you're selling your property in the future, you're probably going to be selling it at a much higher price than what you paid for it. And this is how it works. So let's say that property that's now valued at around £250,000. Let's say we sell that 15 years from now in the future. And let's say we sell it for £500,000. So the property is sold for £500,000. We've got that mortgage that we need to pay off, remember, and the mortgage is £187,500. But once that mortgage is paid off and the agent fees, which could be 1% or something like that, and the legal fees, but everything after that we will take as profit, as a pre-tax profit. So yes, you're going to exit your mortgage that way, but not only that, you're going to be making serious amounts of money when you sell that property in the future for a higher price. So I hope you've got value from this video, and it's proposed a slightly different and alternative idea to what we're told as we grow up, that you must pay off your mortgage as soon as possible and become debt-free. Make money work for you. Now, this strategy is not going to be applicable and suitable for everyone, but I'm quite confident that the majority of investors can undergo this strategy successfully and maybe go from working full-time to part-time and have that extra income they need to spend their days however they so wish. So I hope you got value from watching this video, and if you've got any questions maybe about the refinancing side and the mortgage side, go to my website ms7.uk and I can put you in touch with the mortgage broker that I use. I know, I trust him. I've been working together many years. He's done many applications for me, and if you've got a question about your mortgage, I'm more than happy to put you in touch and add value there. So I wish you all the best with your property investing day. Take care. Goodbye.